What's up, Cave Dwellers? I'm Gabe, the Flash.
I'm Darren, the Mando.
I'm Brandon. That's it.
Oh, my bad. Okay. All right, well, seeing as my helmet doesn't fit me because my thing is not in it, let's take them off. And before we get started today, I think we should thank our sponsor. That is RPGhiring.com.
RPGhiring.com.
Make sure you check them out.
So, Gabe, what are we talking about today?
The High Republic.
What is the High Republic?
What is the High Republic?
Star Wars.
Oh, so we're talking about Star Wars today,
Strawas.
and it just happens to be the High Republic.
For the survival of the Republic, the fate of all Jedi, for control of the Force itself.
What is the High Republic, Gabe?
It's before the Republic. It's the Republic before the Republic.
Actually, it's not.
I thought it was.
No.
Oh.
It is not. The High Republic is supposedly the golden age of Jedi. Quick little High Republic here. It is set during the Republic, the Grand Republic. I don't know what the thing is. It's the Republic regardless. It's after the Old Republic, and during like the New or Grand Republic, and before the Empire.
So, for like a timeline basis, how far behind this is it from the Phantom Menace?
So it's about 200 years before this new era of Star Wars takes place. About 200 years before the Phantom Menace or the Skywalker saga. So everything Star Wars wraps around the Skywalker saga. It's that time period between Anakin being born and then him dying, and if you consider the sequels canon, a little bit like 20 years after that. So, which I don't. But anyways,
I mean, who does?
I don't know. Brandon, do you consider the sequels canon?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, so this takes place about 200 years before, and you'll see maybe one or two familiar faces in it. Those species that last a long time, that live for a very long time. You know who I'm talking about. If you're watching certain shows. Anyways, today I will be using some notes because I read over a ton of stuff and I cannot remember it all. I did read the comic. I got a hold of one. Brandon, you read the comic?
I read the comic.
Gabe tried to read the comic, but he got bored like 5 minutes into it and wanted a donut or something. I don't know.
Burn it.
Anyways, so we're going to talk about a little bit about the High Republic, and I do have two boxes to open at the end here, which were supposed to be Christmas presents for me. Did not come in time.
Fantastic.
So you guys get to see what they are, and they are related. So,
Do you know what they are?
I know what they are. I'm cheating.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, they don't. So, so the High Republic, like I said, it's the golden age of Jedi, set about 200 years before the Skywalker saga. It begins with 3 books, and this is mainly the reason why I had to write this down because I could not remember everybody's name. But it begins with 3 books: The Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule, A Test of Courage by Justina Ireland, and The Great Jedi Rescue by Cohen Scott. Followed by a comic series, The Star Wars High Republic, which came out, a week or so ago. I don't remember exactly. And it comes out, every
Oh, it comes out on Wednesday.
Wednesdays.
I don't know if it's going to come out every Wednesday. It might be once a month or whatever it is.
So get with your local comic shop. I'm sure they would know, right?
Right.
Yeah. So the comic series, The Star Wars, The High Republic, written by Scott, and that's all it said. It just said written by Scott, with art by Ario Anindito.
Well, it sounds like he just didn't want to put his name on it.
Right, Scott. Maybe
Oh,
because
and Phil.
yeah, and art
Phil.
by Ario Anindito and Phil.
Yeah, so
Who
Scott.
is Scott and who is Phil?
Well, Scotty doesn't know. Shout out to my brother Sean.
Don't beam me up.
And then February 2nd, Into the Dark, a novel by Claudia Gray, is supposed to release as well. So we're going to have another book. I don't know if these are short stories. The first 3 are short stories or what? This one specifically said a novel, so I guess we're talking like...
Yeah, I know they're doing novels. But,
Star Wars novels are good a lot of the time.
Okay, I got maybe.
Seems like there's a lot going
Legendary.
There
Or
is.
Legends.
And then after that, it's followed by the first issue in IDW's new comic, Star Wars: The High Republic Adventures, by Daniel Jose Older and illustrated by Harvey Tolabeo. This is an ongoing multimedia project, which spans both comics and books to tell one cohesive story set in the High Republic era, about 200 years before the Phantom Menace. So there's lots of different things going on. There's comics, there's, I guess, short story books. One looks like a children's book maybe, and then the other one was like just going to be a full novel. And then there's going to be several different comic companies, I think, coming out with them, but they're supposed to all be canon and linked together in this new...
So like kind of same writers?
No, not the same writers.
Different writers.
They're all
but
different writers.
I think they're collaborating to make sure
They are.
they're
There's
all on
been
the same page.
I've seen several group photos where they're all together. So
The one person that I do recognize is Charles Soule. He's done some comic writing in the past. He's pretty decent.
Is he? Okay. Yeah. Well, from what I understand and reading the Star Wars website, StarWars.com, I believe is what it is. They're saying, the end of the Skywalker saga or era is coming. It's coming to an end, which basically that was George Lucas's thing. Well, now with Disney, I guess they're taking over and making new stuff. I don't know, but this is supposed to be like the new, after everything Skywalker wraps up eventually, maybe 5-10 years from now. This is supposed to be like the new era of Star Wars. So we're gonna get to see some back in the day when Jedi were all over the place and fighting and all that stuff, and not just Luke, Anakin, and a couple other main Jedi.
So are we getting John Favreau, Filoni type stuff? Or are we getting Kathleen Kennedy type stuff?
Well, I don't know. I don't really know. I know that Favreau and Filoni are in good graces by... They're very, very highly liked by George Lucas and everybody in Star Wars, and Kathleen Kennedy has not been lately, so
The Mandalorian is just...
Everything they have done so far. Clone Wars was in the top, it was like number 1 or number 2 top TV series this summer for like 2 months long. The Mandalorian has been on it since before it even came out. So I'm just saying, they're doing something right.
Yeah.
And I think everybody would love to see Kathleen Kennedy retire and Filoni or Favreau take over. Mainly, I would say Filoni and Favreau take over Marvel, since Filoni is boosting Star Wars and Favreau started the Marvel's MCU.
Right, with Iron Man, yes.
I'm just saying.
You gotta do it right.
Got to do it,
Do it some justice.
So a bit of a timeline here. If you are a Star Wars fan and you know the timeline era, the High Republic lasted approximately from around 300 BBY to around 82 BBY. And BBY is the Battle of Yavin. Is the Battle of Yavin, which in A New Hope, the first Death Star, whenever the Millennium Falcon escapes, Obi-Wan dies, the Millennium Falcon escapes, the Death Star then warps, which, yes, it does have warp drives. So it warps to Yavin, where the Rebel base is on Yavin 4, which is a moon of Yavin, and it's the Death Star is trying to go around Yavin. There's 30 minutes left before they blow up Yavin 4 or whatever. That's the Battle of Yavin. So when the first Death Star explodes, that is said to be the downfall of the Empire. And then you have Empire Strikes Back and then Return of the Jedi are set within like 4 years or something, like 4 or 5 years. So like the Battle of Yavin is like the downfall and the turning point in Star Wars time. So everything's labeled BBY and ABY.
That's also one of the first battles you see.
Yeah, I suppose. So,
Out of all of it, so.
the more you know. And it is said to be, about 200 years roughly before Anakin. So, and the High Republic, like we were saying earlier, the High Republic is actually, it's not like a time era. It's during the Galactic Republic, but it is a part of the Galactic Republic that is supposed to be like a height, like a golden era of. It's a time zone where like Jedi are at their
flourishing.
Prime. Yeah, they're flourishing. They're everywhere. They're expanding. They're exploring. They're at their prime. So it's not just let's sit in our council, think about what we're doing, and send like 2 Jedi to go explore what some droids are doing. They're like literally everywhere. You turn the corner and they're like in Walmart. They're like, "What's up?"
And then when there was a ton of Sith too, though.
I could not find anything on the exact timeline because it's all kind of messed up. This what they've been doing. I don't know if they're fully aware of the timeline because before Sidious, the Sith before that was his master, and that was Darth Plagueis. The tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise is Sidious. I believe literally
Sidious is master.
Yeah, which literally Sidious killing Darth Plagueis. Mm-hmm. But before that, I mean, there's always been some Sith, but Mace. I think it was Mace Windu that actually said it. He was talking about there hasn't been a Sith seen in like 1,000 years or something like that. So obviously it is. Yeah, obviously it is during the timeline, but it's not. And there was supposed to be a time period where Sith and Jedi were everywhere fighting each other. You go to the market and they're out there dueling it out, lightning and force and everything.
That's cool.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see that. Just
The lightsaber fights.
Literally the Wild Wild West with Jedi and Sith, and I assume that eventually they will start making. If this does well, I assume they'll start making some shows, whether it's animated or regular. And I would watch it. Cool. I would watch either one.
So that's all if like the Star Wars: The High Republic comic does well.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus the stories.
Brandon, you read it. How did you feel about it?
I hated it.
Okay. Very few choice of words there. Anything else?
I don't want to say anything negative, so I just hate it, and that's all I want to say about it. So I don't want to be a negative Nancy. So I'm just going to sit here and let y'all talk.
Okay. I'll read a few other things off here. The High Republic was a time where Jedi were significantly more active through the galaxy. It was a time of expansion and exploration in the Outer Rim territories and dark zones in the galaxy that were not explored. The trade routes and the light speed routes, they weren't calculated. So that you can't just get in your ship and just, all right, punch it, we're going to warp, and then they would just warp into a sun. They had to have people explore them in very slow moving and leave like little breadcrumb trails in order to know where to there are these lanes of travel. So this is a time where not everything was explored, whereas like A New Hope and all that stuff, most of the galaxy had been explored, and the Empire were literally all over everywhere. And this is a quote. This is actually kind of a quote from I think either one of the books or it wasn't in the comic, but this is I think one of the books. Maybe I haven't read them all yet or anything. In the days of the High Republic, the galaxy was not as settled as it is now. Areas of the Outer Rim were dangerous and hard to navigate. So during the expansion and exploration, they built huge space stations and put them in the dark zones. They sent out signals that acted as beacons of light, helping travelers find their way. And the space stations were called the Starlight Beacons, which were literally like giant lighthouses in the middle of space.
That was in the trailer for the comic.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
It was in the comic. The Starlight Beacon. They were on
the Starlight Beacon was in that, but the trailer for the comic. That's what
the Starlight Beacon, and that, I was going to get to that next actually, about the comic a little bit, and also at the same time during the Republic, the Chancellor, the Supreme Chancellor, or whatever it is, and I found it and I read it and then I couldn't find it again, so I just wrote down what I remembered reading. The Supreme Chancellor was one of exploration. He was kind of like Christopher Columbus, and he was like, let's literally explore everything, everywhere. So he had, and they were friends with the Jedi, so he had everybody on this quest, this voyage to explore the entire galaxy, and kind of like Star Trek.
So did he find the spies?
Yes. No, he did not find the spies. No, not that spice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, not the spice. The spice melange.
Well, Columbus was looking for spies.
No, he was looking for gold.
And gold and spies.
No, he's looking for trade routes.
Spices from the East Indies.
Yeah, he's looking for trade routes though.
To India to get spices.
Star Wars is literally a tale of Christopher Columbus.
And Dune.
Mm-hmm. So the first comic issue, I will tell you a little bit about it, but I'm not going to give anything away. Since Brandon doesn't want to. The first comic issue follows the story of a young Jedi Padawan about to face the Jedi trials. So you kind of see a little bit of that, her and her master. Also, the launching of the Starlight Beacon, the ship, like space station ship thing, I guess I'm going to call it. Following, the beacon, the Starlight Beacon. In this comic follows the Great Disaster, which there wasn't really too much detail, and I'm guessing they're going to go into it a little bit. It's something that happened in Star Wars that all spaceships were like warping through. Any spaceship that was going through like warp, like got knocked out of warp at the same time and like blew up. So like galaxy wide, I don't know if they like bumped into another galaxy or they just decided to stop spinning or something. I don't know, but all spaceships like stopped warping, and it's called the Great Disaster. And the Starlight Beacon was kind of like an aid to help pilots in the dark zones and help out and everything like that. I'm not entirely sure. We're only in issue number 1, and it was kind of weak for a first issue. That's all I'm going to say. I think that they'll pick up at some point or another.
I'm hoping that it will.
It did have an appearance of our favorite green little dude. But
Ketamine Frog?
Yes.
The greatest Ketamine Frog.
The guy who drives a Honda Civic.
Runs his enemies down in it. That's his choice of weapon.
So that's the High Republic. That's all we really know about it right now. They're going to be coming out with a lot more stuff, and I'm assuming some shows and whatnot, and I did all this research for you.
Yeah.
Brandon?
It's the worst first issue comic I've ever read. The art is weak. The story was weak. It didn't leave me wanting any more than what it gave me.
The comic?
The comic.
Yes. There is a book, and I wrote them down and I said them a few minutes ago, but I don't remember which picture was which. I've got them in my head. One looks like a children's book. One looked about the same as the comic, and then one looked really cool. It showed like 5 different Jedi on the front of it. They looked like real Jedi Knights. They all had really cool different lightsaber hilts. One, with like the T, and I mean, everything was.
I know
like,
what book you're talking about.
Yeah, it looked really, really cool, but I don't know if it's like a novel. If it's a novel, I probably won't read it. I'll probably just.
They were saying it's
Look it up.
better, but it's kind of the same thing.
Is it out already?
I think maybe.
I don't know.
Or they're thinking it's going to be better, but about the same. I don't know.
You know what would be a better video to do besides this comic? We should just all go to Disney and go get lightsabers. Big brain time there.
Hey, man, we might do that. Get one and give it away on here. Ooh.
Hey.
I want one.
Ooh.
I'm not giving mine away.
I'm not getting
We
mine.
might just do that. We never know.
Darren can give his away.
Talking about Star Wars, I think I'll open this up, and I'm sure you assumed that this had something to do with Star Wars.
While he's opening that, look, if you're a fan of Star Wars and you're just a super fan, go get the comic and read it. I like Star Wars. I don't know all the backstory, like obviously like Darren does, but if you're a comic reader, the comic is weak. It just is.
If you're an art collector,
If you're an art guy, the
art
art's
is weak.
The art's weak. If you like to read,
The art
that's
is
weak
better
too.
than the writing.
I'm not saying don't get it. I'm saying read it if you're into Star Wars lore.
right?
Yeah. If you're into the deep lore, get it. If you're in, yeah. But don't hold your hopes.
I will say this though, without
As,
your
like,
support,
as big.
Star Wars will never get any bigger or grow
Right.
into anything else besides the Skywalker saga. So we do need some help here. With we do want Star Wars to grow.
I mean, Mandalorian.
Yeah, but that's still the Skywalker era. That's not.
It's still
that's not
Skywalker
anything
era.
other than that. We need.
Well,
I want to see the Old
Anything
Republic.
before.
So the first thing we have here is it's a really, really cool Star Wars The Power of the Force Special Edition, special collector's coin, Ben Kenobi toy with the lightsaber that goes out of his arm. You push the thing in the back and his lightsaber comes out. Old Ben.
So what's the company? Is that a Kenner or what is that?
Yes, that's Kenner. Yeah, that's a Kenner. That's an original.
They had a lot.
1985 Kenner.
Darren, do you have all 92?
What? No.
One sec.
I probably do have some of these.
Hold on. I have one of those. It's on my shelf. I have the R2 that has the ejecting lightsaber.
Really? That's cool.
Number 2.
I've got a Yoda and a couple Boba Fett's. But that was box number 1. Really
Well,
cool.
that's cool.
And we're just now getting into the grading of the original action figure, so I don't know all the grading scale. Do you know?
It looks like a CAS collector archive. It looks like an 8.5. It's probably like on a grade of like comics.
It says 85 or is it 8.5?
8.5.
Okay.
So 8.5, like in comics, that would be a decent grade for such an older
Right.
toy.
And like I said, we're getting into this, and this is something new to me. So
And I know that big thing with the toys too is like it's carded, right? It has the toy inside with the plastic on it. Now, the big thing is if you can find these that haven't been punched, I know that's a big deal.
Oh, really?
That's a big deal.
So does that make that 8.5 go up?
Yes.
Gotcha.
If it wasn't punched, it would be a lot.
It kind of
higher.
has to be punched if it was ever on a shelf, right?
Sometimes it depends on the retailer because sometimes they wouldn't put them.
They'd put them in like a little rack or something.
They wouldn't put them on the rack. They would just put them on a shelf. I have found some that were unpunched that somebody was looking for Star Wars figures that were carded, and I sent him some that were unpunched. I found someone at Comic-Con and sent him to him.
Should you have done that?
Well, he paid me for them.
Oh, okay, I got you.
All right, it was fine.
I was like his finder.
This box has several things in it, actually. We have, this one's down here. We'll unwrap this one in a second. The other one we have here is a Boba Fett. This is an 83 Kenner Star Wars loose action figure, and it's an 80 or an 80, an AFA. I'm not sure what the AFA is. Toy
I
grader.
have that one too. It's sitting next to the R2D2.
Awesome, fantastic, awesome is what it stands for. I just made that up. Does have the gun and everything. I like these grading boxes. They like literally cut them out just for these specific toys, and then stick them in there.
That is pretty cool.
That's cool. What else do we have here?
Great for displaying as well.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, because this is not graded. This is the original card here in the back, but they stuck. Oh, cool! It's Bosk. Check that
I
out.
don't have that one.
I'm going to be very careful and just sit him here like this so you can see an ungraded. Does look like there's a little bit there from what it looked like
It's
a
like
sticker.
someone peeled the sticker
Right,
off.
peeled the sticker off. Kenner Bosk with the original card. I'm not even going to pretend like I know how to grade this. This is
Very cool. It is very cool.
are we on the 40th year? Is it 40th year anniversary right now of Empire?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
At least the 40th year anniversary, because I've seen several things about it. Yeah, I don't even know what year that one is, but that's cool. Speaking of Bosk and the High Republic, the Jedi, the Padawan that was in the first issue, her master
It's of the same species.
is the same species as Bosk.
Which is really cool.
It is. Do you know that? No, you didn't know that. Don't act like you did.
No, he can grow his arm back.
Danny?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I bet you didn't know that. Because I read the comic.
I read I read most of the comic, actually. I was like fast reading it because I was trying to do other things too. I do have to work and do Gabe's Cave at the same time.
And it was terrible. We're not spoiling it. Just think, hey, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Here you go. Just think of Anakin, but a different character.
That, yeah.
There you go.
They just ripped off Anakin's cowl.
Except they just like, here you go. You're a Jedi. There you go.
Yeah.
Just on a plate. There you go.
I bet Anakin's mad about that. He ain't even born yet. I bet he's mad about it.
Yeah.
Because then, he's on the council, but not the rank of master.
Yeah.
Get got. That's why he has anger issues.
Yeah. And they're just like,
That's why he kills his wife.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what is best? What is best in life?
To get mad because your friends and a small frog don't put you on the Jedi Council, and you end up-
council of space wizard cultists.
yeah, and then you end up killing your wife.
Keeping it real goes wrong.
To join a politician that also is a part of another cult of space wizards, but they're apparently bad.
Explain a film plot badly. Space wizards deny
wizards.
angry teen. space wizard permissions, kills his wife.
Yes.
And
All right.
joins evil politician.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyways,
what was that post I saw go around today? Pick a movie, and one character remains the same person, and everybody else is a Muppet.
I want Anakin Skywalker just to be the Muppet.
so I have to name a movie.
You name a movie, one person still stays human. Everybody else is a Muppet.
Literally any Nicolas Cage movie.
I was actually going to say Braveheart.
Okay.
You know, the Muppets are like,
Oh, yeah, I got you. I got you. Or any Nicolas Cage movie.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
Honestly, in the comments below, tell me if you know a Nicolas Cage movie where Nicolas Cage isn't Nicolas Cage. Because I'm pretty sure he only has one role, and he is himself in every movie.
Now, granted, in Con Air, he did have a horrible Southern accent,
But he was still himself.
but he was trying.
he was still
he did
himself.
try,
Yeah,
sort
but
of.
still though. I mean,
Well, in Kick-Ass, he was basically Batman,
Yeah.
like '60s Batman,
fake Batman.
fake '60s Batman.
Right. But still, like, when he was like, you're like, I bet he is about to steal the national treasure, Declaration of Independence, and some gold.
He might.
Didn't he have a shotgun too?
Yes, he
He
did.
carried around a shot. It was like Batman
Yeah.
with a shotgun, but like he
never
pulls
seen
his
this,
mask off,
But
and
it
then
sounds hilarious.
he's like, I got it. It's right here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Con Air, he was literally on his way to DC to steal it.
Probably.
Ghost Rider, he was getting the powers to fight everybody off to steal it.
Yeah. He's too busy looking at Eva Mendes though.
She's in the movie,
He
actually.
got sidetracked.
That's right.
Well, we, like us, also being sidetracked right here, I think we should go to the giveaways. It appears as if I was not here last week, so Gabe, you don't have to set all these up. You just kind of do a little fan thing here. Gabe, who was the artist last week since I was not here to film?
Will Powell.
Will Powell. Webbies. It'll be right here. It'll be right here somewhere. And down. No, it won't be down, but it'll pop up right here. I keep saying his name. Everybody keeps asking me, whose cards are those? I'm like, Webbies. And they're like,
That's the name of his cat.
Will Powell? And I'm like, that's the one.
WP.
All right, so Brandon, you want to find us a winner?
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
All right, looks like we have ourselves some beans. Winners. All right, so that's our winners for the week
Don't forget the loot box.
right here. You were dead last, but we still love you anyways. I'm just saying.
You gotta win the stuff.
The stuff and
Stuff.
the things. All
You got
right,
the goods.
let's go to this week's artist spotlight commentary segment.
Do it. Meet the artist.
Meet the artist. Hi, meet the artist.
In And this week we have Dan Gorman. How's it going, Dan?
All right, how's it going?
Great. So I've got the first question I want to ask you that everybody wants to know.
Okay.
You've been given an elephant. You can't give it away or sell it. What would you do with the elephant?
I can't get. Oh, well, I would keep it as a pet.
So what would you feed that thing?
Whatever elephants eat. I mean, I don't know what else. Peanuts. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure what elephants eat, but things. So I'm sure I can figure it out.
At least ride it, right?
Absolutely. I don't know if I can get up on it, but
Yeah. There's got to be some way to get on it.
Somebody over here would ride it.
Yeah.
Right.
So next question: what was the first comic book that you ever read?
Oh boy. Wow, that would have been a long time ago. I don't remember the exact issue, but it would have been an issue of the Incredible Hulk. It had the Soviet super soldiers in it, and my dad brought it home on his way home from work one time, and I was really little, and at the time, it was when the Incredible Hulk television show was on, and I loved that show, and I would always make my dad watch it with me, so that was, I think, the first comic book that I ever had, and that I just read to death, and I think it was before I could even read, and I had a Defenders comic, and I had something else, and I think those books together kind of helped teach me how to read, because I followed the pictures and followed the words, and that's one of the things I love about comics.
Right. So Lou Ferrigno is your Hulk.
Lou Ferrigno was my Hulk. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, we've got your cards here, and they're fantastic. We're going to kind of go through them, and you can sort of talk about each one and kind of explain your process and all that. So I'll kind of start with the first one and see if you can see it here. Looks like a Marilyn Monroe type. Yep, Marilyn Monroe.
Yep.
And so, what medium do you use on these cards?
So I use a little bit of a mixed media process. I pencil the card, and then I do a gouache painting of the card, and then I go in and I do touch ups with ink, color pencil, Copic marker, and then whatever else is laying around that I need to get whatever the effect is that I want to get. But that's basically my process.
Gotcha. Okay, next we've got Mr. T, which is
T,
fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely an 80s theme here, which is great.
Yes.
Let's see, we've got Ivan Drago.
Yeah.
Another great one there. Of course, we've got Rocky right there next to mine.
Yeah.
Of course, we have Stallone once again with Rambo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite Rambo movie?
My favorite Rambo movie would probably be, I think the first one is still my favorite.
The first one. So you like the
First Blood? I think that's like
First Blood. So he kind of cries at the end, kind of a anticlimactic, not the normal action movie. Your hero dies at the end. Doesn't die at the end, but he sort of breaks down and cries. Yeah. I
right. Well, there's a lot of commentary in there about the Vietnam War and the way that the soldiers were being treated, coming home, and also Brian Dennehy played a great villain. I think in that role. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Next here we got another classic, MacGyver.
Oh, one of my favorites of all time. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. What was your favorite MacGyver? Life hack from the show.
God, there were so many. There were so many good ones. I don't know. I always just loved it when he'd use chewing gum. It didn't matter whenever he would employ chewing gum in the answer. I always felt like I had a shot. If he could figure it out with chewing gum, I could figure it out with chewing gum. So.
Right. I always liked there was one episode where they were trying to escape, and bullets had shot like the Jeep they were trying to escape in, and the fluid was leaking out, and he took a chicken egg.
Yeah.
And dumped it into the radiator, and it clogged up the radiator. I don't know if that would actually work, but I'd be interested to see if that would.
Right. Yeah.
All right, next we've got another good one. Michael Jackson, 80s Michael Jackson there.
Yeah. He's Michael Jackson. Yeah.
And we've got. I'm trying to decide just because of the hair. Is this Madonna or
Madonna? Yes.
Madonna? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to decide whether it was her or Cyndi Lauper. Now the mole kind of gave it away for Madonna.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make sure.
Madonna, yeah.
Okay. And then we've got, of course, Tom Cruise from Top Gun.
Top Gun. Yeah.
Are you excited about the new movie?
Cautiously excited. I mean, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I was actually in San Diego
Yeah.
several months ago, and I think they were filming there. I mean, there was planes constantly flying by, and there was supposedly somebody told me there was a camera crew out there.
Right.
So really, there's they went back to San Diego and are filming back out there. So I hope it's good.
Yeah, I do too. I hope it's good.
Another one that was kind of thrown in here. We got out of the '80s. We got to I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
Got Lucille Ball.
Yes, love Lucy. Love Lucy.
So you love Lucy then? Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
She was fantastic. I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah. Of course, you got to have the king,
Yeah.
Elvis Presley.
Yep. Gotta get some Elvis in there. Yeah.
So have you been to Graceland?
No, I have not. I mean, I was never a huge Elvis fan. But he's iconic. So if you're gonna do pop culture, personalities, I don't know if there's a personality bigger than him for his time.
I'll give you a word. If you ever get to go to Graceland, just don't get like excited because it was a rich person's house. I think being rich back then was a lot different than it is now, and so you're just sort of like, this is it.
All right, right.
And you always hear about the jungle room, and it's just carpet on the wall. It's yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Okay. Another good one. So we'll have to watch out. Droolpool Marty might steal this one, but we've got Christopher Reeve Superman.
Yes.
Which is the likeness is fantastic on that one.
Oh, thanks.
Did an amazing job. Of course, we got The Godfather.
Yep.
Marlon Brando. I mean, classic.
Yep.
Iconic character. And then we've got right beside him, of course, we've got Al Pacino. I believe this is Scarface, correct? Got to have Scarface.
Oh yeah. One of my favorite movies of all time. Yeah.
Yes. And I believe that was who directed that. It wasn't Brian De Palma, was it? Because he did.
No. Right.
I can't remember, but sort of it's like a more R-rated Godfather, a more.
Yeah. It's just a solid movie, solid script. From beginning to end, it's just great.
Oh, fantastic! And then we have. I brain dumped who this is. The last guy. He's got a cigarette, blonde hair.
Yes.
It's either Brad Pitt.
No, that's James Dean.
James Dean. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
James Dean.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually a good thing. Brad Pitt should maybe do a James Dean if he was.
Well,
if he was younger.
Yeah.
So these are all the cards, fantastic cards. Is there some, as far as your process goes, what's your process when you're sitting down and doing art like this?
So from I work on a lot of license sets and a lot of trading card sets over the last 10 or 11 years, and basically my process from start to finish is once I get the instructions on what I'm allowed to draw or what I need to draw, Then I go pull reference, and I try to size the reference so that it's closer to trading card size, so that I can more easily transfer that to the card. So I print out sheets that have all of my reference shots, and then I go through and I just pencil each card, rough in each card, and then do a detail pencil on top of that. And then depending on how I'm feeling, how I think the set should look, I'll either ink the drawing and then color it, or I'll paint it, and then I'll use ink to punch up the darks and put in some detail over the paint. Normally, I think I ink first, just because it makes coloring a lot easier. So then I'll paint the card. Sometimes I'll do a black and white underpainting, which I think I'm going to be doing on a top set, baseball set here coming up. And then I'll do a final color over that, and then hit it with color pencil, Copic marker, some white paint to pull out highlights. I use a Uniball gel pen to do some highlight work, and whatever whatever it takes, basically, to get the look that I want. But yeah, that's basically my process.
Well, I could tell a lot of work and a lot of love was put into these. I mean, because they're all fantastic, and I know viewers will love to have the chance to win these.
I appreciate it. Going back to MacGyver, actually, my favorite MacGyver fix was, there was an episode where there was a nuclear meltdown, and he seals off a cracked nuclear reactor by melting chocolate into the crack. And so he climbs through this whole nuclear site with this whole bag of candy bars, and then he melts the chocolate into the nuclear reactor and seals it off and saves everybody with chocolate. So that's probably my favorite. Yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, I've got to ask. So, if there was a fight between Batman and Superman, who would win?
Well, I mean, I think we've seen that a couple of times, and the way that DC, works it out, it's usually a draw, right?
Right.
I mean, I don't know how someone with superhuman powers couldn't beat someone who's just a human in armor. I mean, I guess that's understating Batman a little bit, but if Batman has his kryptonite ring, or his a kryptonite item to use, I don't know. I mean, it could go either way. Batman's smart enough to figure something out. So
it all depends on the kryptonite. It all depends.
Yes.
And if Batman has time to plan.
Right. Yes.
Right. All right. These are, I appreciate you coming on and doing an interview with us. So we want to make sure that if anyone's interested in getting kind of commission or checking you out, just kind of let us know where we can find you at.
Yeah, so Dan Gorman Art, DANGORMAN art.com. You can see my artwork there. You can always contact me directly at gdan75@gmail.com. I'm also on Twitter, GDan Artist on Twitter. On Facebook, you can find me. I'm Dan Gorman Art on Facebook. Also on Instagram, I'm GDan Artist. So I'm easy to find. I'm out there. I'm not hiding from anybody. So if you want to track me down, you can probably find me. I'm available. So.
All right. And we'll have all those links on the description and probably on the screen. So we'll definitely try to get people in the right direction if they'd like to get a commission or talk to you about anything else. We want to say thank you again for coming on the show, and we appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate being on.
No problem. We'll talk to you soon. I hope you enjoyed that segment of Meet the Artist. So, what are your favorite cards, guys?
Yep. Randall. Brandon?
I like Tony Montana.
Why do you like Tony Montana?
Because he takes your bullets.
And he has a little friend. I like James Dean myself because he drove a really cool Porsche 550 Spyder that he may or may not have wrecked on the Mulholland Snake in California. I don't know that much, but I knew he had a really cool Porsche.
So how can these guys win one of these cards?
They have to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below this video stating which card they like the most. That's it. And then next week you watch the video and see if you won. If you won, you have to send us an email telling us that you won, and we'll get it out to you. And if you're one of last week's winner, or last week's card winners on this video, make sure that you send us an email, one of Will Powell's cards. Therefore, we can get it out to you.
Free.
Free. Do they have any beans for free?
Maybe we'll put that in the loot box. Some
Can of
Bush's
beans.
baked beans.
Bush's baked beans.
Yeah, beans.
Me and the boys 3.
So yeah, hopefully you like some of Dan Gorman's cards here. We love them. They're really good. After doing the interview, I'm sure you saw it a few minutes ago, his goal was to do a theme here, and I think he really nailed it.
Definitely.
I like it when artists do that. But I also like it when artists just do random stuff because it's like their childhood shows or whatever.
Oh,
We
yeah.
don't give them just Star Wars or whatever. It's always cool.
We let them be artistic and do what they like.
Before we get off here, before we forget, and before you leave, we are going to be at the Dallas Card Show January 29th through the 31st. That is at the Delta Hotel, Waters Creek Convention Center in Allen, Texas. Make sure you come out and see us. Make sure you come check it out. We're probably going to have a booth set up. We may be doing interviews. We may have some special guests. I'm not going to say who they are yet because we don't know for sure. But it may be big. Maybe. Maybe not. But we probably will be doing interviews and just hanging out. You can come meet us if you haven't yet. Other than that, we'll see you next time.